Today is an exciting day and, well, kind of a nerve-wracking day because today I am adding up absolutely everything that I've bought for this car over the 6-month span of owning it. So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Don't mind my messy hair, but like I said, we are going over literally everything that I've purchased for this car, all the way down to just a small door handle for my interior. And for those of you that are new here, right behind me is my 2011 E92 M3. Did I mention that I am genuinely scared to find out how much money I've spent on my car? Before I get to all of the pricing, I just want to mention that I have linked almost all carbon fiber parts on this car in the description down below. That way you guys that have E92 M3s or just 3 Series in general can make your car look, I wouldn't say better than mine, but pretty good. Without further ado, let's figure out how much money I've lost. Okay, I've made an entire list right here with all of the pricing on every part I've ever purchased for this car, and surprisingly, it's not even a page long, but it is adding up very, very quickly. And well, I'm gonna keep it up here in the top left corner. That way you guys can kind of see how much it actually is as I'm going. So starting off with the first two, it is rod bearings and oil change, because those are the first things that I did when I bought the car. The rod bearings were actually 2,100 bucks. And if you ask any E9X owner, that's actually a pretty fair price. So I got a labor hookup where I went, and I just want to give a huge thanks to the shop that hooked me up, because genuinely saved me a lot of money from the labor costs. On to the oil change, it was $138. That is the most I've ever spent on an oil change for any car I've ever owned. And one more thing that I guess kind of ties in with oil change is I have a reusable oil filter. Technically, it's for track use where you can just clean it off and you never really have to buy a new oil filter. So for the pricing on all of that, the rod bearings was $2,100. The oil change was $138.99, and the reusable oil filter was $299. I've only said 3 things and we're already in the 2000s. But now it's time for the absolutely terrifying part of this entire car, all of the carbon fiber. Now for those of you that are seeing this build for the very first time, I have carbon fiber literally all over this car, other than the carbon fiber roof. Obviously that is completely stock from factory, but I have the front lip, the canards, the front grills, the mirror caps, the side skirts, the spoiler, the antenna on the roof, and then soon I'm gonna get a diffuser. Oh, and I forgot to mention these little hood vents are carbon fiber as well. Now, like I said, I'm gonna have all of this linked down below in the description, and well, it's time to go over the painful part, the price. Starting everything off, we have the carbon fiber front lip, and that alone was $350. These absolutely beautiful mirror caps are $225. The carbon grills on this car, which I literally love, this is honestly one of my favorite parts of the entire car, was $210. The carbon fiber antenna actually wasn't too bad just because it's a very small piece. That was $65. Carbon fiber canards on the front were surprisingly kind of a lot, $179.99. These tiny little carbon hood vents I figured were going to be about the same price as the antenna, but turns out these alone were $220. Now that leads us to the last 2 things of carbon fiber on this car. The wing, which I personally think should be on every single E9X because it is so beautiful. This spoiler actually wasn't too bad for most spoilers that you find for these cars. It was $299.99. And that brings us to the very last thing on this car that's carbon fiber, and that would be the side skirts. These carbon fiber side skirts are the most expensive part of carbon fiber on this car by a long shot, $579.99. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared about what that top left number is looking like right now because I have no idea what the total is going to be until, well, I make this video. Now this is a bit off topic, but the sucky thing is yesterday I ended up getting a flat tire, and well, this kind of adds to the cost, so I guess it's not really off topic. I got a flat tire. It damaged the inside of the tire so bad I was riding on 0 PSI while I was driving to Discount Tire to get it fixed, and it damaged the tire so much I had to get a new one. Now the only sucky thing is, you know how it's not good to really upgrade just 1 tire out of the 4. I tried to get 2 back ones, but they only had 1 in stock. So this is the only tire on my car that does not match the rest of them. And that tire alone ran me back $383.14. That is absurd for a Continental tire. Now the unfortunate thing about yesterday when I was driving with the flat tire, I completely cracked my front lip. I am so mad at myself. I don't know if you guys can see, but the carbon fiber twill on the inside of the actual coating is all messed up right there, and the crack goes from under here I don't know if you guys can see that, all the way up to here, and then it spider webs out. So that means I'm going to have to buy another front lip if I want that to start looking good again. Luckily, you can't see it at all from here, but if you get close enough and you know it's there, you're definitely going to see it. Now it's time for the outside accenting mods and then the interior as well. If we head to the back of the car, I have these two little bumper stickers that I wasn't sure about, but I actually don't mind them because they give the back of the car a little bit of an accent without the back diffuser. But as you guys can see, there's one over there and one over there, and I don't think they look too bad. Those bumper stickers, luckily, weren't very bad, 45 bucks. Another exterior accenting mod are these front two air scoops that actually do help the airflow as much as people hate to say it does, but it also just makes that front end look so much better, especially because of the yellow and gray design I'm going for. Those ran me $89. And we do actually have to start the car for these next two mods. One's a visual and one's a hearing. If we go ahead and get the car all started up, the first mod is obviously going to be the exhaust. I absolutely love this exhaust so much. It's a valved exhaust from Grail, straight from Germany, and we are the only people in the States that own this exhaust on an E92 M3. But this is going to hurt because this is the most expensive mod on this list. $5,800 for this exhaust. And I know that sounds insane, but having valves on this kind of car is absolutely amazing. The next mod's actually up front. I installed yellow LED headlight bulbs, and oh my God, does it look so good every single time I look at this car. Just look at that. Definitely one of my favorite mods of all time because it genuinely brings so much aggression to the front end. But those yellow LED bulbs actually just ran me $39.99 on Amazon. Let's go ahead and get this car turned off, and well, the last part is the interior. Now, one of the visions I had with this car was to eventually get F80 bucket seats and make my own custom door panels with Alcantara wrap, and even to get them reupholstered with stitching that I like and everything like that, but unfortunately that is very expensive. So what I ended up doing for the meantime was getting black door panels. So the passenger door, the driver door, and even the back door panels are all blacked out. And I figured I might do something with the interior I already have with those door panels because the Fox Red interior is so nice. Believe it or not, this door panel, that door panel, and the two rear ones were $400. And what's crazy is it actually came off of a 328i, so basically downgraded my interior. But the very last thing that I almost forgot about is actually the blackout plate I have on the back. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Now, this is also one of my favorite mods because it is just so cool to me. Once you guys see it, I click the button and now you can't. That ran me $179.99, but I 100% think that was worth it. Added everything up and it came out to a whopping $11,851.07. Now, one twist that I didn't mention to you guys at the very beginning of this video was that as a content creator, I don't have to pay for most of my parts. So that's actually not how much I paid for all of the parts on my car. And right now I'm gonna give you guys the real number. Real number that I paid for everything that you guys just saw on my car is $3,997.11. That's right, I paid just over a quarter of the price that I actually would have paid if I hadn't been a car content creator. Leads me to one last thing before I go. If you or anyone you know that wants to be a car content creator or just create content in general, it is not a bad idea just to pick up a camera and start, because I would be able to build my cars without actually having to technically build my cars, and make content out of it is something that I literally dreamed of as a kid. And well, now that I'm doing it, seriously, if you want to do it too, just pick up a camera and start recording. I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Peace out.